subscribe, and ring the bell to never miss an update. Today on Lady Mary Beth, we are visiting a wonderful shop, China Baroque. They repurpose old and broken china and turn it into jewelry and fabulous pieces. I can't wait to learn more about it. Join me. I'm bringing in boxes of some broken china that I have on hand so that maybe they can help me rescue these pieces. I'm thrilled to introduce you to this wonderful hidden gem, China Baroque. It's a shop that inspires, repurposes, and helps you to remember. Perhaps there's a pattern in your life that maybe you grew up with or one that you've just admired, and maybe you don't have room for a whole set of dishes. But you could certainly find maybe one piece at a thrift store, antique shop, or even on eBay and have them make something wonderful out of it. And they have a lovely gift shop. It's not all about the repurposed china. They have some chinoiserie and great gifts. I know I will be shopping here again very soon and love all of their touches, the bold colors, love that ginger jar. And if there's anything I enjoy as much as china, it's jewelry. China Baroque has some lovely pieces, and I was very surprised to find one at Still Good Consignments. That is a sign that they have a name for themselves. The back stamp with the pineapple design was the telltale sign of China Baroque, and I was so glad to get this, and that led me to this store. They've got some amazing things for Texas, and you know, we're all about that. It's rodeo season, and we're glad to have something that we can wear to symbolize Texas. And they have some beautiful pendants, and some actually have the beading or pearls, and these are great statement pieces, and the prices are right. I think that I will be doing some shopping today as well. The art of turning china pieces into jewelry has actually been around for several hundred years, and China Baroque takes it a whole new direction with such creativity and purpose, and they're giving a creative voice to old china. And here we have a Western themed collection. They're clearly getting ready for rodeo, and the lovely lavender. Even within one collection, you have so many different looks with the shapes of the pendants, the bracelets, and even in the bezel, you see lots of detail. And what I like is that it lends itself to a leather cord, a beaded necklace, a neck wire, any type of chain, and you could have more versatility with that. And I am especially liking the turquoise with the birds. I think that would be beautiful to wear to an event. And Peanuts is well represented along with Mickey Mouse. And I think Snoopy would even be a cute Christmas ornament. That would be great for the collector. And of course, the Mickey Mouse is the original drawings from Walt Disney. And that's a modern look, kind of channels a bit of Kendra Scott. And I really like the color combination there. I wouldn't have thought to pair that together. Love it. And this is one of my favorite collections, the Haviland Bold Floral. That square pendant on the right is very striking. And I think that would make a great gift. Right there, the blue and white with the beads would go with so many different colors as well. Love that classic look. And for the pet lovers out there, so many different breeds represented here. German Shepherd, Dalmatians, Dachshund, and Tabby Cats. And even within the floral collection, there's so many different looks. These are very much cool colors. And that leather bracelet is neat. And here we have a totally different vibe with the gold. And for your friend that has everything, this would be a great item that they could pair with all kinds of colors, a very classic black and white scroll design. And here we are entering the Great Wall of China. This is where a lot of the magic happens. You can design items. They even have a wine and design evening. I'm here with Christy, the owner of China Baroque. She's been in business for 20 years, creating all of these beauties, and we will learn more about it. Hi, Christy.
Hi, how are you?
Great. It's so nice to be in your shop. I'm having way too much fun today. And Christy's going to walk us through the design process and how it all works.
So the first part is obviously we have to take a piece of china. We usually are finding something that motivates us and gets our creative juices flowing. So basically what I start out thinking about is how I'm going to build my collection. Now I'm sure you're thinking, well, that's not a lot of china to work with, but we're framing out little small parts. But I don't have a lot of restrictions as far as where I can situate my templates. And these are my templates, as well as these guys right here. So these are our original templates that we worked with forever. And then we have them separated by this size would be more beneficial for pendants. Okay. This size over here, smaller, would be beneficial for earrings, rings, and bracelet parts. We use these paint pens because they don't come off in the water, which we have to use water when we cut our pieces. So we have to find a pen that will stay on during the cutting process. And so you can see how we've dotted out these flowers, and the pin around it is still there. So this is before it gets cleaned. And the cool thing is that our saw blades are about the width of the point of this pin. And so I can get my pieces really close together.
Oh yes.
Almost touching really, and the saw will cut right through there.
Such precision.
It is very precise, and with that there's not a lot of waste. So pendants are #1 seller by far and have been for 20 years. Earrings #2. Rings #3. We're finding the beauty that maybe someone else didn't find. Now this pattern right here, this is Fire Song. I believe it's Fire Song by Lennox, but don't quote me on that. Or Fire Flower.
Okay, I've not seen
we'll
that
have to look
before.
that one up. It's very, very retro.
Beautiful.
I found teacups and saucers at a antique store for next to nothing. So for example, the E is for earrings, the R is for rings, TGP stands for toggle pendant. So basically it's when we do a statement piece that hangs from a toggle, and it's the showstopper piece is hanging from the end of the toggle, and then we bead around it, and so that's what that stands for. Send me a picture of the china and I can know instantly how many plates I need.
And that's really good information too for viewers, because they don't have to live in Houston, Texas to have these pieces made. They can live anywhere in the world. You just mail your pieces in, correct?
Correct. I did a little report, and I discovered that 60% of our custom order pieces come from people out of state.
Excellent.
So we can do everything via phone and email. So we're happy to accommodate whatever your design style is, as long as it fits within, you know, our parameters of what we already do. You grow and evolve as a person. We've grown and evolved as a business, and we want to not overwhelm our clients, but we want to give them as many opportunities and possibilities
to preserve their
yes.
china, the memories that you might have.
Correct.
So many possibilities too. And I will link in the description how to find China Baroque, and you can mail in your special pieces. Thank you so much, Christy.
You're so welcome.
There's much more we need to learn about, and I can't wait to show you around the store. Sure was fun to learn about that design process and how you can approach a piece. I don't think I will look at my china the same ever again. And especially if I'm out at thrift stores, antique shops, I will be looking with a different eye. They have some beautiful chinoiserie. I love that mirror as well. And frequently I have viewers that will contact me or the store directly if they look at the link in the video description to find out if an item is available that they've seen, and they usually mail it to them. So keep that in mind. And there's some wonderful examples of pottery and china from different eras, styles. And as we walked in, Christy, the owner, had some items that were from the Facebook Live sale the night before. I love this bracelet. It did sell, so I was not able to grab that, but I'll definitely follow them on social media so that I can be aware of future sales and events. And you think that if it's a china repurposed item, it's usually a floral, but not necessarily. There are collector's plates as well, and there's something for everyone. Of course, the Alamo. And here's some beautiful florals. Love those bracelets too. Such unique shapes, you'll notice. And that would be quite the statement piece. Look at that edging. And that's sterling silver. And I'm just thinking of so many gifts now. I brought in some broken china. This you might remember, Heinrich and Company. I ordered from shopgoodwill.com. Some of the plates came in broken, and I did get a full refund, so that's nice. And my favorite Villerenbach Burgenland, you probably have seen in some of my segments. This bowl has a crack in it, and I thought I would bring that in to see what Christy could create for us. And the Twas the Night Before Christmas pattern from Johnson Brothers. A lot of it came in broken, and you know what? I would like to turn that into something wonderful. So Christy, what do you think about all these pieces?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I love this pattern. Although it's small, we do have to approach it a little differently. But one thing I'm always interested in, it's kind of one of the first things I do, is I turn it over and I first find out, okay, who's it from? And then the second thing is the back stamp pretty enough to do something with? Because we love to create these, I call them kind of back stamp story bracelets. And so I collect, it can take me 8 to 9 months to collect enough pieces of the back stamps to create a bracelet collection. So that's always important as well. So for this one, we do have limitations, but I think we could probably come up with something great. Love, love, love this pattern. I love blue and white. I mean, I'm just a blue and white fan. You mentioned earlier the castle in the middle. I think that would make a beautiful, beautiful pendant. And we were talking about that yes. noise. This is a dream. I don't know what it's comprised of because I am not a china expert. However, I do know that it is great on the saw. So it's easy to cut. It's not chippy. Bone china can be extremely chippy in the process, and we kind of have a thing we have to do with our saw blades in order to work around that process. But this is a dream to work with, and
good
I think
material.
would make good material, great
it's
material.
Faience, which is vitrified porcelain. And so don't be afraid to pull out your everyday dishes. Even Fiesta ware you mentioned is a dream to work with.
Absolutely. And we work with all types of pottery. So even if you have like Deruta ware from Mexico or, whatever the case may be, pretty much anything that's, pottery, china, clay, even glass, we can work with, some glass.
Oh, wow.
And so, as long as our saws can cut it, we can usually work with it. So.
And you've got all the creative ideas too,
yes.
and the shapes. And the Twas the Night Before Christmas. I have quite a few pieces that came in broken.
Yes.
And I'm seeing the holly here, which would be interesting, but you
yes.
might have more ideas.
What I love to do with a dense pattern like this, especially when, unfortunately, it's cracked down the middle, is we love story bracelets. So I would love to create something maybe on a bracelet that could tell kind of the story of the pattern. So you've got the holly along the edges, you've got, especially on this piece, you've got the wreath here on the door, you've got this little child or snowman, it's a snowman, get my eyeballs, it's a little snowman sitting in the snow right here. So you can grab parts of it that really tell a little bit about all of the pieces of the pattern. And that way you get a little bit of everything. And then of course, with the holly and, anything that's repetitive, you could certainly do earrings and a pendant as well if you wanted a whole set. And as far as the cup goes, well, you've got Santa, in the sleigh. We could certainly isolate the sleigh and make something beautiful, or we could even isolate some of the reindeers and make a pretty pendant out of it. And of course, it's got a beautiful back stamp. So that is, and with the cup, we don't have to worry about what's on the other side of it. So we have a full back stamp to work with that doesn't interfere with the actual pattern on the plate. So you really have a lot of options.
Well, I see a beautiful bracelet in my future. And be sure to allow about 14 weeks turnaround time for those custom pieces. Wouldn't these tea towels make the perfect hostess gift? The vibrant colors actually mimic their beautiful repurposed jewelry. Isn't that interesting? Reminds me of their china patterns. This would be perfect for spring or summer. I love the pink beads and the sterling toggle clasp. Definitely would be a nice statement piece. And that was the rim of a plate. And the turquoise and blue necklaces have quite the finished look with the added beading. Would be a great gift. And the bracelets, they have a Mari patterns and also a geometric look. Very creative, especially when they add elements of blue willow. A lot of thought goes into this, as you've seen with some of the design process. And you just can't find this anywhere else. I've seen companies that offer broken china pendants, but there's never any finished look to it. This is definitely a gold mine. And those cufflinks for $108 sterling silver, it would make it the perfect men's gift. Quite the conversation piece. I think of so many gift needs, and this store would fit them all. And that's the Greek spode pendant right there on the right that I am very partial to. And that looks like the series came from the same pattern. Really enjoy that. And that was the edge of a plate, I presume. Look at the shape of it. Oh, it's so original. Think of the cutting for those. That was very intricate. So much labor goes into all of these pieces. And the black and white is very striking. And I think it's nice to have something bold that you could wear with many different colors. And here are some smaller charms that have a back stamp that have been made into a focal point there, $44. Aren't those fun? And as you've seen with the necklace that I'm wearing, you could put that on a charm holder and just add some interest to something else. And look at these rings. They do suggest that you go up half a size because of the width of the band. I'm a 6.5 normally, and I will be looking at size 7. Lots of beautiful designs. And this is a lavender look. That's not something that's easy to find when you're in the wild at antique shops. Lavender seems to be sort of rare. I love that touch of yellow with the cobalt. And of course, the classic blue and white.
I'm all about the blue and white transfer wear, but I actually am quite partial to the red, or pink as it's often called. And this is a very neoclassical design here. I'll have to ask Christy which manufacturer, what kind of back stamp this had. I think these are gorgeous pieces, and red goes with so much, and perfect example here with the plate, with the black and white. And they have pendants and bracelets. These are such good gifts as well. Keep that in mind too. It's not all about just repurposing your china, but maybe you're looking for a great gift, and you can certainly shop online with China Baroque and they will ship it to you.
And they have some earrings. That is definitely a great gift for a lady. And so many different colors. And I like that it's not all about florals and pastels. That kind of has a tribal look to it. And isn't that beautiful? And that bold collection with the black and white, if you're unsure of what to get someone, they can make that work with any color in their wardrobe. And I do enjoy the florals. These leather bracelets are interesting. I think that's a very creative look, and I'm especially drawn to that rectangular shape. That's unexpected. And I think you can probably switch these out too and add more. And the floral collection. This is a really neat piece because it actually has the back stamp. That's a bonus. Isn't that gorgeous? You wouldn't imagine that came from the center of a plate or perhaps a bowl. And my favorite collection, the blue and white, I don't even know where to start. There's so many great looks here with the swallows, the florals, and of course the red-topped pagoda. It's a classic chinoiserie look. And lots of detail there with the bezel. That's definitely on my wish list. Isn't that gorgeous? You could even hang that from something. Let's say you've got a centerpiece and you wanted to tie a ribbon around that and feature it, and then just put it back in your jewelry box later. You can get very creative with these pieces. So it could actually go back as a table item and into your jewelry box. And maybe you've taken a trip to Egypt or you have a memory of that. Wouldn't that be interesting? Or anywhere in the Arab world. Wouldn't that be fun to give someone that's taken a trip to the Middle East? And here's some more chinoiserie. So many great items. You know, if you go to a jewelry store and buy a silver charm, you're spending that. And this is so much more creative, and it's repurposing something wonderful from the past that can be enjoyed again. Love those earrings. And this collection is striking. Sometimes you can tell that they came from the same pattern. And that cross is really neat. Love the rope design around it. And that oval pendant is catching my eye. This is one that I think would look really great with so many items in my wardrobe. Just love that. And what's really interesting is they have so many different shapes, even within the same collection. The square, the pendant, the teardrop. And now let's take a look at their napkin rings. This intrigues me. Talk about going back to tabletop. It's really come full circle. And I see Wedgwood in the center, Queensware, and that's the pink willow. And the blue, oh, that definitely is something that I would like to incorporate on my table. And this is a modern look with that cobalt and white. So there really is something for everyone.
I ran into one of China Baroque's best customers. This is Cortez, and
Yes, hello.
hi there, nice to meet you, Cortez.
Yes, pleasure.
You've got a beautiful Mickey Mouse pendant. Look at that.
Yes.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
And you have a couple of packages with you.
Yes.
You buying something for, did
My
you say
wife
for your wife?
celebrating 50 years on Earth this February the 9th. Got her some nice pieces here, and you never stop and forget about yourself. You have to take care of yourself here. So,
I love it. What a smart man, Cortez.
yeah, one-stop shop.
I just can't get over your Mickey Mouse. That is perfect.
Yes.
I have a friend who enjoys Mickey Mouse. That would be a great gift.
Yes.
Well, I hope your wife enjoys all of the treasures
Oh,
today.
She sent me here. She loves this place.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We've learned about the design process, and now let's talk about the final step with Christy and how these lovely pendants and pieces are created.
So the final step in the process is once the pieces are cut, ground, and cleaned, then we send them off to our incredibly talented artisans in Bali, and then they basically fabricate each piece by hand. So unlike a lot of jewelry, there's no casting involved in our process. Every bezel is different, every shape is different, every thickness is different each time we send a piece. So every single bezel for every piece we send, whether it's 5 pieces in a bracelet, 1 pendant, every single bezel is made by hand at the time that it's sent. The only pieces that are cast would be like our clasps and our toggles and our shanks of our rings. Everything else is handmade right there on the spot.
It's such an interesting process. Wow, I'm glad to know about this. And don't throw away that old china, because you can definitely repurpose it into something beautiful.
And that is a Linux pattern I recognize. I think that's called Meadow. Lots of beautiful lavender with touches of gold. And my friend is trying on this ring. I like that square shape. Such fun to shop here. And you see different seasons as well. This tray looks like a breath of fresh air with spring on the horizon. We'll have to take a closer look at that. Look, it's sort of a botanical themed with the flowers and the butterflies. I could get lost there. And there's some modern options as well. Love all those colors, that offset heart. And Bleak Parian china from Ireland. That was quite a surprise. I have my mother's collection and some beautiful back stamps on the bracelet. And here we have some belt buckles. I bet you didn't expect to see that today. And I see some familiar patterns. The pink rose from Royal Albert, and there's blue willow on a leather belt. And I think I did spot some Ainsley as well. There's the Pembroke pattern. Love all the colors there. Just think of all the different outfits you could pair with that. I think that I will definitely be back here for so many different occasions. And that pattern there, oh, I see some glass as well. The pattern with the cobalt and gold is similar to what I am taking home today that you will see in just a minute. My friend is getting that heart at the top. She added the gold beads for another $26. And I'm getting the cobalt and gold heart and the chinoiserie that's not blue and white, and it's gold plated. I'm thrilled with my purchases today, and what fun it was to shop at China Baroque and see what we can do with repurposed china.
Thanks again for joining me today at China Baroque. I sure learned a lot about the process and how you can take your favorite china pieces or perhaps thrift store finds and turn them into beautiful jewelry. It was such fun. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Beth. Elevate your everyday with repurposed china.